All right, you guys, what is going on, and welcome back to the channel. So today we are actually not in the garage, as you can see. We are working up in the mod garage today because I have some parts that I need to powder coat for the 05 STI. Now, I came up here last night and I did the intake manifold, which I'll show you guys at the end of the video, and a couple of other brackets that just wouldn't fit in my oven. So they were nice enough to let me come up here, use their sandblaster, use their oven. I have my own powder coat, but I am going to be using their powder coating machine. They have an Eastwood one, which works a lot better than the little Harbor Freight Special that I have. So the big piece that I really needed the oven for is this like coolant crossover pipe. Since we have the engine so far torn apart at this point, I just want to do this. I just want to do all the little extra stuff that I kind of skipped out on last time just because we were hard pressed for time. So we're going to be doing that today. Also, EG33 update for everyone, also just to keep everyone in the loop. The new case halves are already being machined by Outfront. They're already closed decking them, drilling them up for 1/2-inch head studs and all of the other stuff that we had done to that short block. So once those are done and the FedEx claim is already like, or once the FedEx claim gets like completed, that EG33 will go back down to them. Since the new case halves are already being machined, it'll be a really quick swap over, so that way we can jump back on track to get the EG33 stuff taken care of. So huge shout out to Outfront Motors for stepping up and taking care of the situation. Yeah, the packaging wasn't ideal. It could have used a small skid, maybe a lot more of that memory foam in there, maybe more cardboard. Doesn't matter, it already happened. The situation's getting taken care of. So I only have a couple parts left that we're gonna be powder coating today. I have the throttle body too, which we might sandblast just to get all the old crap off of it. But this coolant crossover pipe has seen better days. Like the aluminum on there is just nasty at this point. We're also gonna be doing the radiator stays and some brackets that I had in there. This one is one of the up pipe brackets. This is another, I think this is an intercooler bracket. But since it's in here, we might as well just powder coat it anyways. So pretty standard process for this. We're going to throw these in the sandblaster. I am going to put a GoPro in the sandblaster. I don't know if the GoPro will make it out alive from the sandblaster, but we're going to find out. We're going to figure that out together as a team, as a party, as a unit. We're going to figure that out. So let's get to sandblasting this stuff. We can start powder coating. You guys have seen this color actually before that we're going to be doing. I used this on some of the EG33 parts, so it shouldn't be anything new. It's like a black with like a nice bronze flake in it. You guys will see when it's done. So let's sandblast. Melanie, being the trooper she is doing some of the sandblasting for us. So she's got the GoPro on. She's finishing up that, it's really loud right now, sorry, we have air compressor sandblaster going. She's finishing up that coolant crossover tube that goes on top of the engine. It's just that sandblaster, your hands get so tired after a while that they just like, you get like your claw hand, and then your claw hand doesn't want to actually do anything. But I'm also surprised the GoPro survived inside of the sandblaster, so kind of cool there. So she's doing an awesome job running through here, cleaning this last piece, or we still have 2 more pieces after this, but claw hand gets tiring. Everyone left the shop, so that means it's mine now, right? Welcome to Smeedia headquarters. Psych. This is way out of my budget. Anyways, 4 out of 5 of the parts are powder coated, are sandblasted. I'm really happy with this one. This was just covered and caked in rust before. This is the up-pipe bracket for the turbo. So that thing looks incredible now. There's one more bracket that I have to sandblast, but before I sandblast it, I want to find an angle grinder. I don't know where Ryan keeps his angle grinder, but I want to lop off part of this bracket. So this is the top mount intercooler bracket, but I want to keep it just because it retains like a secure spot for one of our IAG air oil separator hoses to go through, so I kind of want to lop a part of it off. So this is the top mount intercooler bracket. This, like right where I kind of stopped, is where I'm going to keep, just because that hole secures one of our IAG air oil separator hoses and it keeps it off of the turbo. So wow, they have a heater in here. It must be so nice to have a heated shop. So I need to find something to be able to cut this, so let me go explore real quick. If I was a device used to cut things, where would I mean, that will work, I think this is probably not the most ideal way to cut this, but it worked. Why is this the world's weakest bench grinder? Got the bracket modified. All I did was cut off the top half of the bracket right up there. I smoothed it out a little bit so that way when I go to sandblast and powder coat it, you'll never have an idea. So this piece of the bracket can just go in the trash. Bloop. Built FA20 also. So let's go finish sandblasting so we can start powder coating, because my crab hands are starting to get tired from why is there brake clean on the ground? This is dangerous. So, my crab hands are getting tired, so let's go finish powder coating this. Or it's powder coating, sandblasting. Sandblasting! So all our sandblasting is done at this point. Pretty happy with the outcome of all of it. It should give a nice finish. Just keep in mind, you don't have to sandblast whenever you guys go to powder coat. This is the first time I've sandblasted when powder coating. For the most part, I just use a heavy degreaser, followed up by some isopropyl alcohol after, and I get pretty good results. So if you don't have a sandblaster like this, don't worry, you don't need one. It just makes things a little bit easier when scrubbing off any of the old crap. And if you are doing it, do keep in mind you might want to wear some gloves just so you're not getting greasy little fingerprints all over everything, just because if that's the case, it's not going to come out looking the best. So this is the first time I've sandblasted anything before. The results are, I'm not going to say crazy better, but they are marginally a little bit better than just using a heavy degreaser. I think when we get that back down to the garage, I'll show you one that I just used a heavy degreaser on, and then I'll show you the finish on that compared to one of these. So now that these are sandblasted, we need to get these masked up. Well, we only need to get this one masked up just because we don't want any powder coat getting on that mating surface, or this mating surface here. So I'm going to put some tape around that. I'm going to tape off that front plug. Same with these nipples back here. I'll probably tape up those. You're going to want some high temperature tape like this. This is just one that I snagged off of Amazon. It's just meant for powder coating or painting if you're going to be throwing parts in the oven. So that way all the old paint or all the old tape doesn't melt, catch on fire or anything like that in the oven. So let's get this masked up and then let's start actually powder coating, because that's the fun part. That's why we're all here. That's why we like doing this. Fun colors, right? We will start with the smaller guys first, just to get them out of the way and done with. I've never used hooks before. It's kind of nice. So I've never used hooks before when powder coating, so I'm curious to see how well of coverage I can get with them hanging up like this. I'm assuming it's going to be a lot better, but I figured it'd be a lot easier to knock out all of these smaller parts and then go to the coolant passage, which will sit right on top. That one I think we're going to have to do 2 coats, where we're going to have to do the top, flip it, do the bottom, but we'll see. So let me fill up my container right there with some powder. Let's get these guys sprayed. Well, I guess for the new people who haven't seen me do powder coating before, I should give you guys a quick walkthrough. So I'm using this Eastwood dual voltage powder coating gun. I haven't used this. Well, I used it last night when I was testing it out, but it's extremely simple. It plugs into the wall to get power. You take this little ground clip and you clip it either onto the hook, either clip it onto the hook, onto the part, or onto the rack. I'm gonna do the hook just because I feel like that's going to give me the best ground on there. And then when you push this button on the powder coating gun, it positively charges that, and it does some weird crazy science where the ions in the powder coat are positively charged, they negatively stick to that. Whole bunch of weird science stuff I don't remember off the top of my head, but let me get some powder in here. We'll set the regulator to 20 psi. and we'll start spraying all these guys. So pretty happy with that coverage, you guys. I know the lighting over here isn't the greatest, but the hooks worked out a lot better than I was expecting. We got like full 360-degree coverage over everything. So I have the oven preheated to 350 degrees. So we're gonna go pop these guys in the oven for about 15 to 20 minutes. Actually, we'll do 20 to 25 minutes. We'll pull them out, we'll let them cool for a little bit, and then we'll take a look at how they look with the finished color. And then we'll knock out the big piece, the big coolant overflow guy over there. So got these 4 out of the oven and they are looking pretty good. So our radiator stays have this like nice like powdery bronze color in there. They look good. I like them. Pretty happy with those. Don't have to buy aftermarket ones. Don't have to spend 60 bucks on a different set to make it look good. Next up is this bigger piece. So same process actually. We're just gonna get it powder coated, throw it in the oven for about a half hour, 350 degrees, let the coat cure, the powder cure of the coat on the part. We're gonna do the thing, we're just gonna powder coat it. This one will probably take 2 applications, one on top, one on bottom, just to get full coverage. So let's get this one knocked out. Bam, and there is our coolant crossover tube. Came out pretty good. Let me get this in the sunlight so you guys can actually see, because this thing looks so good. So this came out really well. Like in the sunlight, there's a really good bronze flake in this. Like I said, remember to mask off any areas that are a mating surface. So like on the bottom of those where the radiator connects or the heater core goes right there. And then obviously underneath of that hose and then where the coolant temp sensor goes. So now that this is done, I'm going to show somebody else how to powder coat stuff. And then from there, we'll swing back down to the garage. And I want to show you guys the intake manifold because that thing came out like pristine compared to this. Now I do want to do something with the throttle body. I'm just not quite sure what. When I took off the cover for the throttle body, for the throttle position sensor and how the throttle body moves and everything like that, there's a lot of inner working gears and I don't think it was a smart idea to take that apart. I was going to, but then I started looking at it and then quickly realized that I probably shouldn't. So if anyone has any ideas for the throttle body, let me know down below. It's a small enough part that we can powder coat it in the garage if we want to. Maybe if someone has taken them apart, maybe it's not that hard to put them back together. Who knows? I don't know, but let's swing back down to the garage and I'll show you guys these other parts because they came out pristine. All right, you guys, we are back down in our lovely familiar garage that is a complete and total mess right now with parts absolutely everywhere. But aside from just powder coating today, I got some good stuff in. We can drop the heads off tomorrow. I'm still waiting on the valves to come in, but I have the new valve guides, the Viton seals, the valve spring seats, the new valve springs, whole bunch of good stuff was delivered today. Tomorrow, the head gasket and a whole bunch of seals that we need to be able to put this motor back together will be here also. So super pumped on that. These heads can get dropped off. The valve guides can get swapped out. They can redeck the heads. They can clean them up for us. Whole bunch of good stuff. But let me show you guys everything we have powder coated right now because the intake manifold is by far my favorite. And everything else obviously looks incredible as well. So let me show you guys this. So starting with what we did today, we obviously did this coolant crossover, which looks beautiful compared to what it looked like before. I did the up pipe bracket, even though it won't be seen. It looks good. I don't know. It was super rusty before, so we cleaned it up anyways. This was the top mount intercooler bracket because our hose for the IAG air oil separator goes through there. We got our radiator stays powder coated because these things were like cracking, peeling. Now they have a beautiful powder coat on them. Last night I did the upper coolant expansion tank, which also came out beautiful and like near perfect also. I did the AC bracket. Since we don't have AC anymore, our alternator still bolts up to that, so we still need to have that in the car. So pretty happy with the way that this guy came out here. And then here is the intake manifold. So I believe Joe if I have that right, Joe Z, I'm pretty sure you were the one who wanted me to pull the intake manifold and powder coat it. Well, this time around, we actually decided to do it. There's a couple of discrepancies on this one just because this was such a big part. It was very difficult to fit in a standard oven. But I mean, I am more than pleased with the results. In the sunlight, this will have that like beautiful bronze flake to it as well. There's a couple spots on here that I do need to sand off just because we have two grounds that have to be attached to the intake manifold, but the engine bay is going to look so good. Now, earlier when I was up at the mod garage, as I said, you don't have to sandblast to be able to powder coat. This is a part that that was like very loud. This is a part that all I did was clean it with some like heavy degreaser and powder coat it. And as you can see, the results are damn near the exact same between this guy here and that guy down there. So you don't have to sandblast if you guys don't have access to a sandblaster. These are also the fuel rails and the injectors and the TGVs for the EG33. But we have our GSC exhaust guides, intake guides, Viton valve seals down there, spring seats, and then our Brian Crower springs. If I can get one of these opened up, give me one of them springs. So honestly, I don't see a huge difference between these Brian Crower ones and an OEM one. I don't know, I guess I do see a difference. I guess the OEM one has a lot more coils than the Brian Crower does. I don't know the huge differences between these, but I felt like since we're swapping everything else out, we might as well swap out the springs. So, I mean, hopefully these offer better performance. I can't compress that one. I'm not even gonna try to grab that one, it's super greasy, but you know, all we need now are our new valves and we'll be good to go. So these can go to the machine shop tomorrow. So good progress is being made. Like I said, with this time around with the engine being out, I should have powder coated the bracket for the power steering pump. I'm just now looking at it. It's not too late. That'll fit in our small oven up here. So I'll probably do that also. But even though we can't like progress with assembling anything yet, this is a lot of stuff that I wanted to do last time, but we're on such a tight time frame that I just didn't. I did decide we are going to paint the engine bay. I have decided we are going to do that. If I'm going to the extent of powder coating all these brackets, powder coating all the stuff, making everything look nice, new, fresh again, I'd rather just take the extra day to day and a half, pull everything out of the engine bay, paint it, let it cure, throw everything back in. I feel like it'll just make the engine bay look that much better with everything just being so fresh and so good looking. So that's all I got for you guys on this one. Actually, one more thing, new merch drop on Friday. So one of the new hoodies, I am wearing it. I think we have 3 hoodie choices, 2 new t-shirts, whole bunch of good stuff. It will be pre-order only to open, just because in the past I've done like bulk buy where I just buy a whole bunch of like few sizes because it's all I could really afford to stock. So this time around, every size will be open for you guys from small to like 5XL or whatever it is they offer. I'm gonna let the pre-order run for probably 3 or 4 days, and then I'm gonna place the order, so expect like 2 to 3 weeks for your guys' stuff to ship on that. But super pumped for this next drop because I love the new designs. You guys will see them on Friday and probably tomorrow when I'm wearing the new stuff. But that's all I got for you guys on this one. So if you like the video, you know what to do. Go ahead and hit that like button, turn it black, blue, green, silver, red, purple, blue, cyan, aqua, chartreuse, whatever color it turns for you. And if you're not already subscribed to the channel, hit your boy up because this car's gonna be going to the dyno here in a couple of weeks. And our EG33, well, it's gonna have to be sent back down to California and then back up here. But it'll get taken care of here in the next few weeks. Anyways, I'll catch you guys in the next one. Peace out, homies.